My name is Dan Rinke. I'm one of the assistant directors here in the admissions office, and it is just an absolute honor to see all of you guys out here. So thank you so much for traveling as far as you did. Some of you a couple hours from the thumb of Michigan, some from up north, some this is your backyard. Either way, welcome. We're so honored that you guys are coming here to check out Central Michigan University. We have a lot of information for you tonight, but if we'll start off with a quick video just to kind of pump you up, to give you a little feeling, a little taste of what Central Michigan University is all about, kind of the atmosphere, again, the climate, the culture, the atmosphere, kind of what we're known for here at Central. So if you'll do me a favor, direct your attention to the video screen behind me, and we'll get this party started.
I'm in love with Central Michigan University because of the excellent experience I'm getting here academically, but also how it changed me as an individual.
It's a large university, there's no doubt about that, but when you're on campus and when you see students passing by and when you meet up with your faculty members, there's a closeness that I don't think you see at larger universities.
One of the key things about Central is that it's all about building relationships, and there's so many systems set in place for that to succeed, for that to flourish.
It really impressed me how friendly everyone was, how friendly campus is, how open everyone is. But ultimately, I felt like Central was the school that was going to make the most investment in me.
From the minute you move in, you'll have everything you need to feel right at home, like spacious rooms and a wide array of healthy and delicious food. You'll also have academic advisors, workout centers, convenience stores, and up-to-date computer labs right in your hall. But what we think you'll like the best is that it's a place where you'll make new friends.
I spent my first 2 years at Central in the residence halls, and it's a great way to get to know people, to get to know the culture of Central from the very first day that you're here. Found a life that I love and friends that I'll have forever, and it's just been a great experience.
And our residential colleges give you the unique opportunity to live, network, and study with students in your major.
Living with students who are taking the same types of majors enabled me to become friends with the individuals in my classes so we could study together, and I just kept hearing good things about all the different resources and how students can be involved, and I wanted to be part of it.
And it's not just the residence halls that are outstanding. We also have one of the most impressive libraries in the state to support you in your studies, and an amazing student activity center that will give you a place to let off steam with your friends and stay in great shape.
There's tons of stuff to do. There's a bowling center, fitness center. You can play basketball, volleyball, racquetball. It's a fun place to be, and there's just tons of stuff to do.
Central has a lot to offer, but we think the part that really makes us special is that our faculty takes the time to get to know you so they can help you succeed.
With our smaller class sizes, we're able to have that one-on-one, if you will, relationship, or a small classroom environment relationship with the students, and so you really have a great opportunity to get to know your students more than just as a student, but to get to know them as a person.
I think that's critically important, that I be approachable, that I be accessible, and that we can work as a team. Because if we work as a team, then there's nothing that we can't accomplish at that point.
You realize that these people are invested in making sure that you get involved and you get a full experience out of CMU. You're not just a number, you're an individual, you're a name, you're you at Central.
And your education goes beyond just books thanks to hands-on learning and undergraduate research opportunities.
Even coming in as a freshman, I was encouraged to check out undergraduate research, which is something I never would have even imagined or seen myself doing. Any program or any major is going to encourage students to do that.
Our students are learning in the classroom the particular techniques, and that afternoon they may have the opportunity to put that immediately into practice. They saw it in class that morning. Here someone walks in with that particular type of problem and they're able to do it immediately.
They allow me to really learn myself without having someone hover over me and say, no, do it this way.
And you can discover things you never imagined about yourself and the world by getting involved in student organizations, making a difference through volunteer experiences, and having the adventure of a lifetime while studying abroad.
When I went abroad, I tried so many new things. I got to see so many new places and meet so many nice people. It allowed me to open up my view of the world just immensely. And that in itself is a lesson that you couldn't learn on your own, and it's not anything that you can learn in the classroom.
And when you're getting ready to make the transition from campus to your career, our well-connected faculty will help you land the perfect internship so you can put everything you've learned at Central into action.
It's really becoming more of a necessity now to have internships and to show that you not only did classwork, but you also did stuff in the real world.
Not only did it give me something really special to hold on to, but it taught me a lot of valuable life lessons, a lot of valuable work lessons, and I think it just really kind of started preparing me for life outside of college.
And when it's time to go, you won't want to leave, but you'll know for sure you're ready.
I have been equipped because of the experiences here and the resources that were available to take on the world.
It's definitely all the relationships and connections that I made while at Central are definitely the biggest thing that I'm taking with me and the thing that I'll miss the most and I'll remember the most.
I think Central is the perfect place to not only learn as a student, but grow as a human being.
Right? Who's pumped? Woo! That was good. All right. Let's go with this. High school seniors, how's it feel? Does it feel good? There we go. Senior year. College is next. It's the most exciting time. Soak it up, live it up. There's a lot of cool stuff ahead, too. We're going to talk about all that tonight. We're going to fill you in. But without further ado, I promise you we're going to raffle off this iPod Touch. So I'm going to bring forward the bookstore individuals. Chris DeUlis. Everybody. Chris. Round of applause for Chris. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys are the stars tonight. These guys are the people who are taking time out of their busy schedules to provide you with all kinds of assistance and information on what's going to happen as part of these next steps. Who's going to be my advisor? What kind of program am I going to study? Who's going to help me when it comes to tutoring and math centers and writing centers and that type of stuff? So all the individuals who are out here tonight are going to be giving you a hand. And after the presentation's over, guys, you'll have a chance to even ask additional questions of the individuals at the booths to the first and second floor. So without further ado, let's find out who won the iPod Touch. I got to make sure not to say iPad Touch. iPod Touch. Here we go. Joshua Houston. Joshua Houston, would you please stand up? Joshua, round of applause for Joshua. Come on up, Josh. Look at Josh rocking the shorts tonight. Come on up. We'll shake your hand here. For those of you who didn't win, on the count of three, I want to hear a nice big aw. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Don't worry. No stress. Here's the deal. The University Bookstore, and Josh, you're included in this, everybody's names are going back into the raffle. And at the end of these pre-orientation receptions, and we have a couple more on the road, we are going to raffle off a MacBook Pro, a brand new MacBook Pro to a student, and free books for an entire school year. Free books for an entire school year. And that's like gold to a college student right there, right? So free books. So stay tuned. Check your CMU email and your telephone just to be sure that if any other central calls come in, it could be that MacBook Pro. Without further ado, let's kind of chat or talk about what we're going to cover this evening. The first things we're going to cover when it comes to pre-orientation is actual orientation. If this is pre-orientation, what happens or what takes place when we come to actual orientation? We're going to cover all the ins and outs, everything associated with that actual day looks like, the first class schedule. I know you guys are excited about that. From there, we're going to cover academic advising, or what do we do as a university to make sure that you have your success in those classes, that you succeed through those academics. That's really sometimes a big transition for college students is when they get to college, sometimes the coursework is a little bit challenging from them. It's kind of taught in a different perspective. Maybe you've always learned quantitatively, now this is qualitative work. So we're going to go through some of that stuff with academic advising and how we can be of service to you. From there, we're going to talk about res life or housing. And I know that all of you guys are excited about housing. Give me a shout for housing. I love it. Good. Intensity. A lot of intensity in the room tonight. That's okay. We're going to cover housing, roommate selection, pairing, what that actually looks like. What residence hall will I live in? What's my meal option like? We're going to cover all those things. And then finally, we're going to finish up with this thing called involvement opportunities, or what I call the insurance policy. Now that you've invested in CMU, now that you've made Central your first choice, what are we going to do as a university to make sure you get out of your room, get involved on campus, build a killer resume, and get that first position that you want right out of college? All right, so student support, involvement clubs, organizations, volunteer and community service, leadership. We're going to cover all that stuff, involvement opportunities. Without further ado, let's talk about orientation. If this is pre-orientation, orientation is coming up. To register for orientation, it requires a $175 new student orientation fee. Now, in your acceptance letter, guys, there was a piece of cardstock, a $175 piece of cardstock that says, please return this if you're reserving your spot at the university. And it's crucially important to note that students right now are registering for their orientation dates if they paid that $175 fee. Now, that $175 is fully refundable until May 1st if you decide not to attend the university. But it's very important because Central Michigan University, as honored as we are to have you guys all here, we're one of only 3 schools in the state that sometimes fill up in the summertime in regards to space. So if Central's even on your radar, if we're down to your top 2 or 3 schools, maybe we're number 1, it's crucially important that you get that $175 in to reserve your space. We wouldn't want to fill without you. Once you pay that $175, a lot of you can obtain your global ID and password. Some of you have already done that. In your acceptance letter, there were instructions on how to get your CMU email and password. This is your CMU email account, the professional email account that you can use for the next couple of years, right? So Princess Hottie Puppy Bubbles at hotmail.com will not work anymore. We're going to go with a new email address, a Central Michigan University address that you can use for the next couple of years. Some of you have already done that. How many of you have already set up your CMU email? Raise your hand. Fantastic. And you can do so by visiting www.cmich.edu, and on the lower right-hand corner, you're going to see a link that says Reserve My Orientation Date Now. And you can just click on that. It'll take the $175 right over the internet, or if you prefer, you can call us in the office, or you can pay it out front at the front desk before you leave tonight. And then you're going to complete an academic profile. An academic profile is going to help advisors like myself to know what you're into in high school, what you enjoy, what you didn't enjoy. I took a couple screenshots because I wanted you guys to see exactly what this looks like. Now, these may appear a little small. I don't want you to stress out about it. We're going to walk you through it step by step. So the first thing it's going to ask you is, in what high school courses were you most successful, right? What did you enjoy in high school? And then it's going to ask you, in what high school courses did you struggle? Math, French, math, right? How many of you guys love math? Raise your hand. 2 people, great, all right. 2 people love math, sounds good. But you're going to list this stuff. Parents, I strongly encourage your student to do this, all right? You might think you know what your student's favorite subject is, but it's very important that at least they be in the room when you're working this through, okay? The student profile is very important. It's also going to have you indicate what was the last high school math course you had, and it's going to continue on so that you can indicate a couple other things. What subject areas are you looking forward to studying when you get to the university? What subject areas are you not looking forward to when you get to subject areas in the future? And what do you want to study as a major or minor interest area? Now, this isn't you guys signing your major. This isn't it officially, right? This is just an interest area. Some of you may put undecided in there. That's absolutely fine. Some of you guys might put something generic like healthcare. That's absolutely okay. But it's going to help academic advisors like myself build that first-class schedule for you and help you when you arrive at orientation to change and amend and fix that schedule so you leave that day having exactly what you want on that first-class schedule. This is what orientation looks like. There are 12 different sessions to choose from. They range from May 22nd to June 14th. They're basically every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from the end of May to the beginning of June. If you're a transfer student in the room tonight, there are separate transfer sessions, okay? Transfer sessions are separate, and it's just 1 day in length. It's from 8 to 5 right here on Central Michigan University's campus. Many alumni in the room, you might remember when orientation was 2 days or an overnight. It's not like that anymore. It's just 1 day. It's a thorough day. It's a full day. But we're going to orientate you to the university. At that orientation is where you're going to receive your first student ID card. So it's extremely important, especially for those families who are driving up from the Metro Detroit areas, or maybe you're coming from the Thumb, you have a 2-hour drive. Orientation begins at 8 a.m. You will be taking your campus ID picture when you arrive at orientation. So if you're sleeping in the car on the way up, you want to make sure your hair is did when you arrive, okay? Done. Make it look nice. And then you're also going to receive your first class schedule. What? Or yes, you're going to receive your first class schedule right when you get to the university. What's that going to look like? We're going to map it out with you. These are the things you're going to see on your first class schedule. And an academic advisor like myself and a lot of the individuals that get academic advising and assistance and the tables outside are going to help build it for you. The first thing you're going to see on that first class schedule is general education courses. Now, general education at Central is comprised of 2 parts. You can see them right up there. University program courses and competency requirements. The university program requirements, oftentimes students nickname UPs, not to be confused with Upper Peninsula. We just call them UPs. That's what they are, all right? University program requirements are the courses that you take just because you think they're interesting or a way to explore different major and minor interest areas, okay? There's areas in humanities, natural sciences, social sciences, integrative and area studies. So if you're looking through the list, you can decide whether you want to take a biology or an oceanography. You can decide if you want to take a chemistry or a meteorology. You can decide if you want to take an English class or you want to take a film course. These decisions are up to you guys, and they're a great way to explore majors and minors in the future. The next thing you're going to see on your schedule is competency requirements. Some people call them competencies or comps. Competency courses are just the courses you have to prove competent in order to graduate from the university. Competencies are English Composition 2 or Advanced Composition, math, and at least one public speaking class before you graduate. Those 4 classes will traditionally be a part of maybe that first or second year schedule. You're going to see a couple of those, some university programs, and then my favorite, introductory major and minor courses. Yes, you heard me right. We're a small enough university that many of you will see major and minor courses on your first semester schedule, especially if you list that you're interested in a specific major or minor. You know what you want to go into. That's fine. The introductory major and minor courses are a good way for you to kind of explore a major. And again, so a lot of people ask me, what if I don't quite know, but I think I want business, but I'm not quite sure if I want business? Take Business 100, a great example of an introductory major and minor course. The neat thing about this class is it walks you through the different types of business that we offer at the university. And also, whether you decide it's your future or not, it counts for graduation, it fulfills requirements, so you're not wasting any time or any money by being in that course. Another example of that is EDU 107, Intro to Education. My whole life I grew up, my parents said, you're going to be a teacher. Dan, you should go to college, you should be a teacher. And I said, okay. So I got to Central, they said, what do you think you're going to do? I said, I'm going to be a teacher. I got into Intro to Education, EDU 107. To this day, one of the greatest college courses I ever had. But I got in front of 35 sixth graders for the first time in my life and said, no way, are you kidding me? No way I'm going to do teaching. Not a chance. It made me realize that teaching wasn't for me. Still one of the best classes I had to this day. Counted for graduation, fulfilled requirement, absolutely fine. You'll see other options like Intro to Athletic Training or Intro to Social Work. You might also see academic electives on your first semester schedule. A great example of that is CED 101. If you're an undecided student at the university, CED 101 is a 1-credit class. It represents the most inexpensive of Central Michigan University credit. You sign up for that one class, it's going to walk you through every individual major and minor that we offer at the university. It's going to walk you through what's really hot in the fields in business and engineering and science and technology and journalism out there today. It's going to walk you through starting salaries, companies that are hiring CMU grads right now, so you guys have a good understanding of what the job market and career market really look like out there in the real world. So it's a great idea to take CED 101 or maybe FYE 101, first year experience class. Again, a 1-credit hour class, all about getting you involved in the university. Students who take FYE 101, more likely to graduate. They get better grade point averages on campus, and they're more likely to get involved. The reason being is because FYE 101 has homework assignments like read a Central newspaper, go see a football game, go bowling at the Student Activity Center. That's your homework. Sign me up, I know. All right? Those courses, if you think of it as nothing else than an insurance policy, again, I'm more likely to graduate, I have better grade point averages, I'm more likely to get involved in campus, which means a better resume, which means I have a better job in the future. If you take it for that reason alone, it's worth it. Absolutely worth it. So that first semester schedule, maybe you're an undecided student, we have all kinds of things to help you figure out what that major and minor is going to be. The first thing we do is we host a major night every single semester. It's a big all-out campus blowout kind of fair/convention. Where every single booth, kind of like the booths you see in Warner Hall tonight, every single booth is dedicated to an individual major and minor. And everybody goes anyways because they give out free stuff. Free t-shirts. Sign me up. Everybody goes anyways, and every single booth is going to tell you things like starting salaries in their positions, what's popular right now, what's the job market look like for the future in these fields. All right, so if you're an undecided student, great idea to hit up a major night. Tutoring, free and offered in almost every single subject area at the university. Writing and math centers, so you can have your writing proofread before you turn it in. You can have your math homework graded before you turn it in. Free. Absolutely free to students. We made a decision a long time to offer the service to students, and it makes a huge difference. So writing and math centers. SI sessions, which are additional course sessions that you can go to kind of break down the material even more. Again, absolutely free to students, and students who attend these get better grades in school. This is what the smart kids do. They attend these types of subject areas. And finally, career services. Once you're preparing for graduation or you're getting close to that period, You can hang out with the folks over in Career Services, and they're, again, going to walk you through companies who are hiring in your field, starting salaries in those positions. They're going to do practice recruiting, resume critiquing, a really, really neat thing. And even after you've graduated, if you find yourself either not really enjoying the field you're in, or times are tough and you find yourself laid off in the field you're in, you can always come back and as alumni to the university and check out Career Services and they'll help you find a job. True story. I'm walking. My mom took me to Parisians a couple of days ago to go shopping. This is actually not a couple of days. It was like a month or two ago. I was like not going to turn that down, right? Mom's taking me shopping. I'm absolutely in. So my mom's taking me shopping. I'm walking through Parisians and a woman walks up to me. She sees that I'm wearing my Central Michigan University jacket because I had just gotten off work that day. And she says, "Do you work for the university?" I said, "Yeah, I do." She goes, "I am working at Parisians and nothing against that, but I was just laid off from my job. And this is helping me make ends meet, but I'm really looking for a new position in the future. Do you guys have anything at the university that would help alumni get back on their feet, find a new position in the future?" I said, "Absolutely." I pulled out my business card, handed it to her. On the back of my business card is Career Services. She contacts them. I get an email in my inbox 1 week later. She says, "Thank you so very, very much, Dan. I don't know if you remember me. I met you at Parisians. I have 2 interviews within a week." Absolutely fantastic. True story. So huge, huge service to our students, Career Services. There's a second part of orientation. We call it campus and community life orientation. There's so much orientation. Don't worry. We're going to walk you through it. This part of orientation you won't even notice is happening. It happens in the background. Orientation Phase 2, called Campus and Community Life Orientation, begins the weekend that you move into the university, the weekend prior to the start of classes. It's, for those of you who are date savvy, it's the 24th through the 26th. Again, all-out campus blowout convention and fair where every single booth is dedicated to individual clubs, organizations, and sports that you can get involved in when you get to campus. Academic and social programs. So if you're interested in joining the pre-law club, they'll have a booth. If you want to get involved in the Storm Chasers Club or the Squirrel Watchers Society or the Harry Potter Alliance, you can do all that stuff at the main stage, or what we call main stage, which is this all-out involvement in entertainment fair. If you're interested in playing a club sport like club softball or club basketball, you can do so by getting involved when you come to main stage. All the campus fellowships and organizations will all be on hand. For those of you who are date savvy, I love providing dates to our families. So this is what the calendar looks like from here on out. Right now, if you're not working on it yet, begin to work on the FAFSA, or the Free Application for Federal and State Aid, ASAP. Very important that some of you fill it out in February or by March 1st. Though that's not a final deadline, a priority deadline by March 1st is recommended. After you complete a FAFSA, May through June, you're going to attend orientation and be looking for other information to be coming in the mail to you. Attending orientation, August 27th is our first day of class at the university. And then immediately beyond that is the Labor Day recess. So you started the university, and before you know it, it's a 4-day weekend. Real nice. The Labor Day is right there around the corner. November 21st to the 25th is a Thanksgiving Day recess. Some of you, that might be actually your first trip home. Some of you may have visited home several times before then, but a lot of students will hold out all the way to Thanksgiving, which is great. And then December 8th through 7th is winter break. It goes by like that. How many of you guys think high school senior year is flying by? Raise your hand. You haven't seen anything yet. You have no idea. Parents, back me up. Does it go faster every day? Every year goes by faster? College will blow by. You'll blink and it'll be over. Enjoy it. But here's the date. It's going to be holiday break. Before you even know it, you're going to be coming home. Everybody, all the seniors in high school, all the juniors are going to be looking up to you. College girl, college guy coming home. It's really, really neat. So that's the university dates. I promised you I'd talk about housing. We call it residence life. All right? So let's get into it. Again, some huge advantages to living on campus. And this is a very important group to talk to because many of you represent people who live within 60 miles of the university. And I get this question from our local residents all the time. Is it required to live on campus my freshman year? Now, we have a rule at the university that says if you live within 60 miles, you can commute. However, 99.8% of our incoming class lives on campus. You'll want to. It is a wonderful experience. Obviously, you might meet and make lifelong friends, the proverbial really cutesy quote, I know, but there's all kinds of other benefits. Check it out. Studies show that students who live on campus, they feel more connected to the university. Why? Because they're finding out what's going on. Their RA is filling them in on programs. They're learning from the other students around them every day what concert or event is coming up, those types of things. Because they feel more connected to the university, they're more likely to seek out and use academic support services, tutoring, SI sessions, career services. Because they use that stuff, they have a higher grade point average at the university. Studies show a direct correlation. You live on campus, you have a higher grade point average. Because you have a higher grade point average, you're more likely to stay. Because you're more likely to stay, you graduate sooner. Because you graduate sooner, you're more likely to get that first job, which means you're more likely to buy your parents a boat with how much money you're making at your first job. Parents, look forward to that. This is your retirement plan sitting right next to you right now, right? It's just a given. All right, here's how it works. So when it comes to residence life, it's really a two-part process. But again, $175 fee, that's also going to generate housing information for you. If you've not paid the $175 fee, it's very important to note as well, students are currently filling out housing information. If they paid their fee, they're already in the system and they're using and filling out housing information right now. It also gets you in. So look for your Welcome Home Community Living Guide in the mail. It'll also come in your CMU email in the form of a PDF. You say, Dan, I get 12 brochures a day. I get brochures from random obscure universities in Idaho that I don't even know how they got my name. What does this brochure look like? I took a picture for you. This is what it looks like. That's it. Some of you have it in your hands tonight. Some of it's in the CMU folder or the CMU Rubbermaid container that has all of your CMU stuff. I know you have one, right? So that Welcome Home Living Guide is going to kind of fill you in on a two-part process. Housing is a two-part process. Part one, you can complete as soon as you receive the guide. This is a lot like eharmony.com. TM, trademark, right? You're going to create a profile online. Then you're going to review other profiles online based on a match or how those students rank against the profile you filled out. And then you connect with other students. We as a university don't automatically assign to students. Other universities automatically assign you based on these profiles. We let you do the social networking. It works like this. I took some more screenshots. It may appear very small for those in the back row. Don't worry, I'll walk you through it. First part, very easy. You select a term. There's only one option. None of you should get this part wrong. Second part is the terms and agreements, okay? It's going to make sure you are aware of the cancellation policies and the subsequent fees therein if you cancel after you've already attended the university. So pay attention to the fine print. From there, it's going to have you fill out medical information. So allergies, I'm allergic to mayonnaise. Not Miracle Whip, mayonnaise. Miracle Whip's cool. Fill out your allergy information. It's important for your roommates to know these types of things in the future. And then it's important for the university to know to make sure we can avoid those types of occurrences or instances if we have to. From there, you're going to fill out your emergency contact information. This is crucially important too. And students, for some reason, I don't know how you screw this up, but students screw this up every single year. They put their own information, they just see blanks, and they start typing in their own name and their own email. It's very important to put your parental or guardian's information, or grandma or grandpa or aunt and uncle, in this info box. Do not list your own. Happens every year. This is what happens. You're playing indoor soccer at the Student Activity Center. Game was really late. It's like 11:30 at night. You roll your ankle. It looks pretty bad. We have to call the ambulance to come and help out. We decide to call this the emergency contact information to receive either some authorization or to make mom and dad aware of what's happening. We call the ambulance. Next thing you know, your iPhone is blowing up right next to you. Kesha ringtone ringing out, glitter flying everywhere. And what the heck? Oh, they put their they put their own name in there. Very important. List your parents or guardians as the emergency contact information, okay? From there, you're going to choose the meal option. I'm going to go through these in just a little bit for you, but this is my favorite part of the housing process, picking the actual meal option. A lot of fun. There are 4 or 5 different meal options to choose from. We're going to walk through them in just a moment. And then from there, you're actually going to complete the eHarmony part of everything. You're going to see a 35 to 40 question questionnaire that's going to ask you about things like, how do you like to spend the time in the room? Do you plan to spend it on studying, or are you going to study somewhere else? Do you plan on watching movies? Do you plan on listening to music? Do you plan on your room being neat or messy? Notice right away, number 3 right here. I like to live in a room that is generally neat to messy. I selected very neat. Some of you may say very, very neat. It may have a good idea. Parents, I don't want you to fill this out for your students, but it's probably a good idea for you to be in the room because you know really whether they are a neat or messy person. Students are like, I'm totally neat. And mom's like, no, you are not totally neat, right? Maybe a good idea to be over the shoulder or in the room. Students, run it by if you'd like to. When I study, I prefer the noise level to be a quiet atmosphere. Noise is okay. Maybe you like having loud music in the room. Maybe you study to the television. I personally cannot have a television on when I study. I will be too distracted, okay? So these are the things to kind of think about. After you fill out this entire profile, you can do a couple things. You can perform a roommate search. So maybe you have a friend who's already on the system that you want to look for. You can search by their name, or you can perform an auto match. By performing an auto match, it's going to give you a percentage ranking of how the other students that you've seen, guys, girls, it'll give you a percentage match. It will not find you a date, I'm sorry, of how you rank against the other students who filled out the profile. It's a really neat process. So notice, I got a 57% match when I did it. I thought that was pretty good because I'm a 29-year-old married guy, and I don't think any 18-year-old guys are going to want to live with me, but I thought 57 was pretty good. I actually took that as a ego booster, if you will, but it's real nice. You get on the system, and then what it lets you do is you can see you request, you can view their profile, or you can send them a message. So you can get on the profile process and start to socially network with individuals. So you get on the process. Where are you from? I'm from Bay City. No way, I'm from Midland. This is crazy. We're right down the street. What'd you do in high school? I played volleyball. Get out of here, I play volleyball also. This is nuts. So you're on the profile. Tell me about your family. I have a little brother. Oh my gosh, I have 2 of them. They're so annoying. You're on the profile. We should hang out. We totally should hang out. Let's meet. You bring your mom. My mom will come too. And we'll meet at Panera Bread. I don't know why Panera Bread just popped in my head. I feel like that's a meeting place. Panera, I don't know. We are not sponsored by Panera Bread. So you meet at Panera Bread with mom and your mom. They come to you guys meet together. The 2 of you exchange the broken heart-shaped necklace. One person goes one way, the other person. And it works out perfect every time. That's how we do the housing profile. True. That's how we do it. So you can kind of begin to socially network with other students to kind of decide who might be the best roommate for you. Maybe you're coming with a friend. The 2 of you are on a quest. Why do I say quest? I feel like it's a quest. The 2 of you are on a kind of search to find 2 other individuals who do the quest, like Lord of the Rings. You guys are looking for 2 other individuals who are just like you to live with you, okay? So if you have 2 in the room, make a room of 4. It's real neat. The second part of your profile can be completed on the date we email to you. So keep an eye on that email. It'll be in May. The date you would get emailed to you, you complete part 2. Part 2 is actually choosing your actual residence hall room, down to the room number. It works like this. On the day that you complete part 2, only one of you actually has to get back on the profile. So if you've already met a couple of friends, only one of you has to get online, and you can actually do a couple things. You can perform your room search now and actually go through a room search where you choose the actual room. Or if you were not the one person who logged on early, you were the other 3 guys or other 3 girls, what's going to happen is this page may be emailed to you, and it's simple. You can just click accept the roommate or deny, right? You can deny the roommate assignment, right? If you were the one individual who gets on that profile early to check or select that room, this is what it looks like. Pay attention to the red print. When you get on there, this will make life a lot easier for you. The red print is updated. This lets you know what halls are at a premium price or what halls are already full at this time. Don't be searching for a hall that's already full or you'll just find nothing, no rooms all day long. It's very important to note that red print. So you perform the room search. I did that, and this is what I found. I chose Merrill Hall. That's where I lived when I was a freshman. Merrill Hall. And look how many rooms were open. I got Merrill 3, 4, 5, all the way, 1st floor, 2nd floor, 3rd floor, and you choose the room down to the room number. It's like buying Tigers tickets. Nice. And that's how you choose roommates. And that's how you work out the housing process.